Mr. Speaker, the horrific mass shooting that took place on June 12th at the Pulse nightclub in Orlando, Florida, is a stark reminder of the urgent responsibility that we have to reduce gun violence in this country. This monstrous attack on the LGBT community in a place of refuge and empowerment requires us to act. The shooter in Orlando used an assault rifle that is virtually identical to the ones used by mass killers in San Bernardino, Umpqua Community College, Aurora, and Sandy Hook Elementary School. That's no coincidence. Out of the 8 high-profile mass shootings that have taken place in the past year, 7 involve the use of an assault weapon. When an assault weapon is used in a mass shooting, the number of people shot increases by 153%, and the number of people killed increases by 63%. These are weapons of war that are designed to kill as many people as possible as quickly as possible. They belong on a battlefield. They don't belong in our communities. And I'll continue to fight to reinstate the assault weapons ban. But this morning, I want to use the time that I have to talk about 2 proposals that the Speaker should bring up for immediate vote: no fly, no buy, and universal background checks. This is really, really simple. If you're too dangerous to fly on an airplane, then you're too dangerous to buy a gun. But under the laws that we have in place today, someone who is on the FBI's terrorist watch list, too dangerous to get on a plane, can still walk into any gun store in America, pass a background check, and walk out with an assault weapon or any other gun he wants. In fact, from 2004 until 2014, more than 2,000 suspected terrorists bought firearms legally in this country, and they're going to continue doing so until we stop them. Until 9/11, bombs were the weapon of choice for terrorists looking to strike the United States. But in the 15 years since then, 95% of terror deaths that took place in the United States resulted from gunfire. It's impossible to understand that House Republicans have now voted 13 times to block the no-fly, no-buy proposal that Congressman Peter King and Congressman Mike Thompson introduced to keep guns out of the hands of terrorists in this country. Why? What are they afraid of? That we might actually stop a terrorist from passing a background check before he buys an assault rifle at Cabela's? Bring the no-fly, no-buy bill to the floor today. Let's have an up or down vote and let the American people hold us accountable for where we stand. This should be a no-brainer. More than 80% of Americans believe that we should prevent suspected terrorists from buying a gun, and more than 90% of Americans believe that a background check should be required on every firearm sale so we can keep guns out of the hands of criminals and those with such serious mental illness that possessing a gun would make them a danger to themselves or others. Bills are pending to fix our background check system and to require a background check on every gun sale. This is one of the single most important and effective steps that we can take to reduce gun violence in this country. Right now, anyone can go to a gun show or get on the internet and purchase a gun without a background check. As many as 2 out of every 5 firearm transactions today are conducted without a background check. It's too easy for a criminal, a domestic abuser, a terrorist, or someone with a serious mental illness to buy a gun through this loophole. And every day, background checks block 171 attempted purchases by felons, 48 attempted purchases by domestic abusers, and 19 attempted purchases by fugitives. It's critical that we strengthen the background check system, require checks on all firearm sales so we can keep more dangerous individuals from acquiring these deadly weapons. Bring the Fix Gun Checks Act to the floor today. Mr. Speaker, we held a moment of silence last week for the victims in Orlando. I know that all of us have kept the victims and their loved ones and the people of Orlando in our thoughts and prayers since June 12th. But the best way to honor the lives lost in this horrific tragedy is to do something to prevent it from happening to others. A moment of silence is not enough. We need a moment of sustained action in this chamber, and we need it today. Mr. Speaker, it will be an insult to the victims of this shooting and their families, and every victim of every shooting in this country, if we continue to do nothing to prevent future tragedies. Do not let this chamber adjourn until we voted on these critical issues. Bring these bills to the floor today. Nothing is more important than stopping the bloodshed and ensuring the safety and security of our constituents.